Hi, it's Susie from Pink Diamond Guide. How are you today? Look, we've had a change in the energy, haven't we? Today we're moving in. We've had a change where Venus is sitting in the sky and it's moving into Sagittarius energy, the energy of the Archer, which is it's beautiful to be moving out of the depths of the Scorpio energy and leaving behind the challenges that have been the eclipse energies and the 1111 portal. Now we move into an energy that has, look, it's a more straightforward energy. I'm going to say this: Venus in Sagittarius, I'm going to use these words. It's straightforward, it's blunt, but it's buoyant. So it should have a more a lighter ring to how it plays out than the heavy energies that we've had connected to our Scorpio energies. So, super keen to see how this plays out. Now, the other energy that shifted was Mercury, also went into Sagittarius. So, again, we're going to move on from the depths of the way that Scorpio was dancing with Mercury, and we're going to move into an idea that is more based, look, it's more broad ideals. It has a lighter edge to it, and it has a big picture kind of an energy. So, look, as a twin flame, we can definitely relate to what it is to have big picture energy, can't we? In having to move through an ascension journey and know that everything we're going through is leading somewhere. So Sagittarius, sitting with Mercury, Mercury sitting in Sagittarius, should support us with our big picture ideals and being able to stay on track with what it is that we want to do with regard to the long term. Now, the Archer, it shoots and goes for the target, doesn't it? So it takes a shot and aims for a target with the hope that they're successful in getting a bullseye. So the energy of Sagittarius means that communication will have more reason for existing. So it will have more, it does support more conversations than Scorpio did. Scorpio is a much more internal energy, whereas the Sagittarius energy would be more likely to have, because it has a broader ideal, it's more open to conversation. So hopefully, this next little bout of energy will be serving us to have more open conversations and where the ideals of love are more straightforward. Let's have a look. Let's see what the tarot is telling us about how this energy is playing out. So we'll read first from the perspective of the divine feminine, and then we'll have a look at the energy of the divine masculine, and we might draw that extra layer that I've been doing. How does the divine masculine see divine feminine? And then we'll do some divine love oracle, see if we can't draw ourselves a reading. What have we got? First out is the Knight of Cups. Bear with me. Sorry about that. When I adjust my camera between when I'm doing readings, personal readings, and readings for YouTube, and I have to always make sure I get it right back in place before I just hit record. So, right, Knight of Cups is our first card out. What have we got as our next energy? Let's have a look. We've got the King of Swords. See, look, this communicative energy around how things we want to say connect. Oh, look, and our Four of Wands. Awesome. This is a beautiful read already, Divine Feminine, and it is very much in alignment with what we were just talking about with the shifts into Sagittarius. We've got the Strength card. We've got the Four of Swords out. Beautiful. And the Four of Cups. Righto. It is interesting that we have that Four of Cups as our final card. But let's have a look. Ace of Pentacles, Six of Cups, Three of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, Six of Wands, and the Death card. We definitely can understand why these energies are here, right? We do want to get past, close that last chapter on what has been some really heady energy, right? We've been having some deep dives into what we've been feeling and thinking, things that we've been learning. And it's been a lot, right? It's been a deep dive. Has it been transformative? Has it been an energy shift? Have some of us had to let go and have things ripped away from us that hasn't been serving us? Too right. And now the energy of the Death card comes in and says we want to wrap up what that last cycle was about. We do want to sit in a level of victory. And here, Nine of Swords is an interesting energy that comes through because it can be a card of anxiety. It can be a card of worry. It can be a card of not sleeping well. It can be a card of having information coming through in the night. You can detract wisdom from this energy as well. And that's kind of where I want to sit. There is a level of not sleeping essentially. But I'm kind of going to pin it more towards some level of lucid dreaming when I'm reading it this particular way, or some level of, the reason why I just don't feel it as a deeply worried energy. I feel that we're I don't feel this level of anxiety next to a card like the Six of Wands and a card like the Death card. It just wouldn't suggest to me. I'm not leaning in on a card of feeling anxious, but it is a card of still going. Sleep is still has a challenge on some level. I just feel like it's more like we might be getting downloads in our sleep, or we're having lucid dreams that don't necessarily make sense. Um, I definitely know, talking to my beautiful daughter, she was telling me about some of the crazy dreams she's been having. So that would actually resonate, that there's the way she's describing dreaming at the moment as being, that's the bit that sort of is, it's not that it's keeping you awake, but your dreams are definitely, um, when you shut your eyes, you don't necessarily see you're asleep. It's just another movie starting to play. It's a very lucid scenario, which will definitely be there serving us and giving us messages. But my gut feeling is that the last round of energy wants to close out. We've done what we needed to do, divine feminine, and we want to feel like we're in a position of victory, or like we've had a long battle and we have a feeling of success regarding it. And perhaps our sleep zone is where we're going to get some messages or information. It does not feel like the grind that the last few weeks have been when I look at those energies. What have we got in here? We've got the Three of Pentacles, the Six of Cups, and the Ace of Pentacles. Look at this. Seriously, divine feminine as a push from the universe. When we look at the next push of energy coming in, as love is being straightforward, blunt but buoyant, and we're looking at the communication as moving out of the depths and into the more broad ideals or big picture. And what did I say? We're going to talk about that the twin flame ideal would actually, it fits into that. That's what I said in the introduction and how I was seeing the energy, that the shift into talking about the broad ideals of the big picture of the twin flame journey. And look what we've got here: Three of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. Now, if you've watched my readings, you know that I see the Three of Pentacles is a card that represents twin flames on mission. So here in an up close view, you can see there's a couple represented. If it'll focus, you can see a couple sort of represented there with a figure that could represent the divine. And down here, we've got the earthly walk with the, on mission with the divine masculine, divine feminine, and they're here and they're all connected. They're here doing their job. So Three of Pentacles to me is the card where I go twin flames on mission. If I'm doing a twin flame reading and this card comes out, I go twin flames on mission. Safe in the 5D, busy in the 3D, trying to figure out the ideals of oneness and separateness, and bringing forth this beautiful mission for all of humanity. Now look what comes up alongside that, the Six of Cups, bringing up it could be a relationship from the past coming back around, right? And we look at the twin flame doctrine, which is what I'm talking about, the broad ideals and the big picture, and how we're starting to get into some straightforward, blunt conversations around love and how it connects. You tie these energies into it. I mean, look at that. Twin flames on mission, the past coming back around, and then get this, put the Ace of Pentacles in there. Let's get to work, twin flames. Let's make a brand new start. Let's reboot these energies and get them going. Because I'm looking, honestly, the way the energy is tracking, of more and more unions coming online into next year. So we should be starting to see these kind of energies push on by right, shouldn't we? Seeing people talking about what it is to be a twin flame on a soul ascension journey and moving on to mission. The past coming back around for reinvestigation for a fresh new start. Man, that's one of the coolest sequences I've seen in a while. Now, what I want you to hang on to, though, is this is a push from underneath the deck. This is not the current energy, so it's something that the universe is attempting to manifest. Let's have a look at what the energy actually is on the board. The push from the universe, divine feminine, is to have your heart open. I love our Knight of Cups, right? I call him Mr. Valentine's Day, but like if this is a reading for divine feminine, the push from the universe is asking us to be Ms. Valentine's Day, right? So to have our feminine version of the Knight of Cups on display. So that is being open, being caring, being warm, being loving, loving art, loving music, loving all things beautiful. You know what I did today? Speaking of loving all things beautiful, I know it's a little bit early, but I started hanging some Christmas lights around the front of our house, and honestly, it just makes me feel so happy to string up a set of Christmas lights because it just felt such a light-hearted thing to do, and away from the depths of, because I have had, even more. I've lost two beautiful uncles. I heard news last night that another one of my uncles has passed away, and this has been some heavy news. The past couple of weeks, on top of anything and anything related to the connection and managing life and family and work and everything that's gone on, I've lost two beautiful people out of my life who, it's like one I was particularly close to, and the other one, was I was a little less close to. But nonetheless, it's been a heavy energy. I've been in the depths of reflecting on life, the afterlife, the all the relations that play out, all the big conversations that occur when you lose somebody in life. So I've been swimming in the depths of a lot of big concepts, and going, how does this all serve me? How do I make head nor tail of everything that's going on around me? But what came in today, and we are under that energy of Sagittarius moving in from today, I just felt so lighthearted, and I haven't felt that lighthearted in a while. And to be able to go out and put some Christmas lights on the house, yeah, I know it's November, but I'm that person. I love Christmas. I love how beautiful it is to see the lights, on houses. And I'll drive around and look at people's decorations because I just love how pretty it is. And that's what I was feeling today. I just enjoying pretty things. And the Knight of Cups is that. They love art and poetry and things that have beauty in life. And it's the universe is asking us to sit in the energy of the Knight of Cups. Who else are we sitting with? How are we showing up? The Knight of Swords, wanting to communicate our way through processes. Like, we don't want to sit on our hands and wait for life to just come at us. We're ready to talk, right? We're ready to get out of sitting in these energies of going, I have to just shut up and work my process where it's all about me and I just have to swim through the depths of my emotion. No, 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 no. I want to talk. I want to connect. I want to be um, I want to be leading my process. I want to drive the car. I want to be at the wheel. I don't want to be somebody who's just in the passenger seat with life just taking me as my mum, she wrote this poem called Puppets of the Cosmos, and it just echoes in my head. And it's like, for sure, there's a bunch of different cosmic forces playing against us, and we're at the mercy of them to a degree. But essentially, we're at the wheel. We get to drive through the cosmos as the puppets that we are. We still get to have a voice with our higher consciousness. This is what I'm picking up. Divine Feminine wants to speak. She wants to be heard. She doesn't want to just be a passenger on the ride. She wants to be living it to the full. And the universe is going, I want you to have your heart fully invested in what you're doing, and enjoy the ride, enjoy the process, and not just being stuck. Because we have been in some heady energy, haven't we, Divine Feminine? And now it's a time where we get to feel like we get to do something with it. In our soul space, are we hyper aware of our connection? Absolutely, we are. Look at this. Our Four of Wands cards come in, where our connection is in our soul space, and we're nurturing it. And whatever it's happening, we know it's safe in our 5D space. And we celebrate that connection in that way. So whether it's manifesting in a healthy way in our 3D space, but it looks like we've had some movement on that front, where we're starting to get a bit of a push on to push our unions forward. In our soul space, we're quite okay with the fact it's safe. Our connections are safe. We know that we're always one. We're understanding what the point of the separateness is, and we know that oneness and separateness are ideals that we need to come to terms with. And that the separateness never means that you are not always in connection with your twin flame. You come from the same soul template. Don't worry about the avatar that is the human body. That will be dealt with if you continue to look after the connection and understand the processes of oneness and separateness. The rest of the processes will fall into place as they're supposed to. Here, we've got in the challenge space, we've got strength. This is interesting because to have strength as a challenge means you have to be sitting in fear and anxiety. And initially over here, I said I don't necessarily feel the fear and anxiety, but maybe that is what this is alluding to. let's dive a little deeper. I feel like I want to grab another card on that one, because right now that energy feels like the challenge to have inner strength. Why? It doesn't necessarily ring true in the energy that I'm feeling, but it's out there for a reason. What have we got? Oh, okay. Have strength in moving into the next chapter. Well, essentially, that is what that said, wasn't it? So it does feel like a repeated message now. So the Six of Swords is moving away from troubles and moving into calmer waters, and it's going to give us a degree of anxiety to move into the next level of the chapter. And essentially, that's what that said, didn't it? It was wants to close out a chapter, bring us into some level of victory after a long, hard yakka. But here, it could be seen as anxiety in sitting in the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords definitely has that connotation. But it's also, to me, I'm picking it up as those double meanings and going, something to do with lucid dreaming is definitely coming through on that front. But also now we can tie the anxiety about the idea that when we have a new chapter birthing, the energy from spirit is the Four of Swords, right? So they're asking us to continue to do our work on our healing. Take our time to sit in our quiet spaces. Take our time to sit in moments of flow, like whether it's, making art, writing poetry, decorating your house with Christmas lights, meditation, sleep, any of the above. The Four of Swords to me is dedicated time working on, I call it the flow state, right? It's when you're out of this energy, which is the King of Swords, being super, up in your brain space where you're thinking and communicating and charging forward. This is saying, I want you to also enjoy the polar opposite energy. And I want you to make sure you dedicate time to working the flow space where, see, I just don't feel we have to do the deep dive that we've had to do in the past, but we definitely have to manage our energy. That's how I'm going to say it. We have to manage our energy, and we can't just be sitting in the energy of the King of Swords charging ahead all the time, full steam ahead. Maybe our sleep will be disrupted if we don't take time to manage how our energy sits. We don't want to end up in a space of burnout. I thought this was an interesting outcome for Divine Feminine, as a likely outcome, the Four of Cups, because I think this energy can be tinged with disappointment at times, but it's not necessarily how I'm seeing it in this particular case. It is, it is listening to the voice of the divine, but see up here how the connection is, there's your Two of Cups connection. You've got it in your soul space sitting here with the Four of Wands. So Two of Cups is our soulmate representation. So here the energy is you've got your One of Cup here, or your Ace of Cups there, and you've got one that's fallen over, and then you've got the Two Cups standing. I'm saying these connections are safe. They are safe right now. They are safe for you to speak your truth. They are safe for you to be yourself and love the things that you love. They are safe when you are spending your time healing and growing and in the flow state. And they're safe for you to move on to the next chapter, whatever that may be. However that's presenting for you, it's safe for you to move on into the next opportunity that comes your way. And I kept seeing, it's interesting because I kept seeing the number 831. It was, when you look at your angel numbers, I kept seeing 831 sort of pushing, like as a number that to go pay attention to me. And that was that kind of energy again, is like you're about to move into a new opportunity. Things are about to shift, change and grow with regards to a new opportunity, and you can leave troubled times behind. And I've been feeling that with different things that are happening in and around me, not just related to the connection. So there could be some anxiety. Perhaps you're being offered a new job. See, look at this over here. Perhaps you're being offered a new job, a new role, a new opportunity that is actually going to help bring this connection back around and get you both on mission. Or either or. It doesn't mean that you both have to be there on mission, because you can definitely do this work yourself, Divine Feminine. But it does feel like a fresh new opportunity is coming towards you. So this time contemplating, it seems like it's really, really useful knowing that your connection is safe, right? Which is what we were suggesting. Your connection is safe here. It's okay to listen to the divine and let the divine wash their waters over you and bring you into this brand new opportunity that seems to be looming. Right. Let's have a look into divine masculine energy and see what's going on over there. What's happening in divine masculine land? How's the energy playing out? Hopefully it's starting to lighten for you, divine masculine, and you're starting to feel that shift into, you know, getting out of the nitty gritty and into more of a broad energy, big picture. You know, the archer does take aim, right? But he lets the arrow go. He takes care of the you know, the variables and gets the stance right, pulls the arrow back just far enough, but he lets go. He lets go. He lets that arrow go. Um, he aims for the target and lets go, and it's, you know, it's a straightforward approach. It's a blunt process in places. It's like, this is what you do. It has a process, and you do it. You take your shot. You aim and you let go, and the archer shoots. All right. I don't know. I just feel like I wanted to have a little moment on that. What have we got, divine masculine? What have we got? Oh, we got the Four of Wands for you too. Let's have a look. What have we got? How are you showing up? You're working very hard. Oh, you got yourself in a state. Righto. Hard to put your burdens down. Oh, the judgment call. Righto. And the star. Oh, I like this. This is interesting, right? What have we got under the deck? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the push from the universe is, look, we've got a Four of Wands and a Four. Look at that 11, 11, 11, 11 playing out. We're definitely still in the aftermath of the 11, 11 energy, which lasts as long as it lasts. You know, it had like a boot from the eclipse as well. So, you know, we went through a really big eclipse season, and then we had you had your 10-10 portal, eclipses, and then you had the 11-11 portal. And this energy is going to take a minute to really do what it needs to do. And it's not a go forward or go backward energy. It's just figuring out how it has played out for you. And everybody's going to feel it how they feel it. But it's amplified. And it was touted as one of the biggest energy shifts of 2022. And I feel like I would put my hand up and go, yeah, right. I'm definitely have been through the ringer 50 different ways in the past couple of months, past month really, the past month, and sort of the month and a bit. So it's been a full-on sort of an event. I don't know why I'm stuck there before. Let's read the divine masculine cards. Okay, we're sitting in the card of the Emperor, the Knight of Wands, and the Page of Cups. Again, the energy of the Emperor with the Knight of Wands. You know, you can read the energy of the Emperor a bunch of different ways, because it can be the divine masculine who really does, you know, put in the hard yards, works really hard, is about protecting people and nurturing and ruling his kingdom and sitting up on his throne. When it comes with the Knight of Wands, though, I keep picking up these massive ego energies. Sitting them side by side, I would have loved to have seen a Knight of Cups with our Emperor, to go, our Emperor's got a beautiful heart. But here I've got our Emperor has got a big ego, and, you know, doesn't know how to really offer of himself because he comes forth in the Page of Cups. Now, the Page is an offer. It is. Don't get me wrong. It does come from a place. But if you go in the grand scheme of things, if you want to count yourself as an emperor, and the energies you're bringing forth under that emperor energy is a Knight of Wands and a Page of Cups, this comes out as an energy that's loaded with ego and not a lot of heart. So it's the kind of ruler who's just my way or the highway. Thank you very much, people. So it's still kind of, you know, like we've been picking up this energy around divine masculine for the last little bit that really does have an edge to it, and it's an edge that has been, you know, difficult to wrap our heads around. They've and like the feedback that I've had from from you down the line is that you're experiencing these kinds of amplified energies around divine masculine you've been connecting with as well. And I even had a lovely message from someone who identifies as divine masculine, registering, just going, I don't even know why I'm so cranky at the moment. I just feel like rattled, just grr. That was the kind of energy that they were sort of saying that, across the board, it feels like this is a collective energy, that divine masculine is you know, um, however the cage is being rattled, whatever shakedown is taking place, I'm going to say it's hitting them in their ego heart, and it's making them cranky. It's making them cranky. But we'll dig a little bit, hey? So yeah, that's an emperor who's running on, not that the Knight of Wands is he doesn't stick around, right? He's just playing the game. And the Page of Cups as well. That's not offering a lot by means of emotion. So what I've got here is an emperor with an ego and not a lot of heart. Sorry, divine masculine. I don't want to call it that way, but that's what I'm seeing. Next level is where we've got a bit of a shift. So whatever these energies are coming forward, we've now got a shift into the Fool, the Hierophant, and the Ten of Pentacles. So if we have an awareness of this, right? If we have an awareness that we are behaving this way, and we're starting to get into a point where we're going, well, how is it serving me? How is it serving me? So the Hierophant would actually be looking at higher levels of understanding, higher levels of wisdom. Now, to come into that wisdom is to actually come there as the Fool, going, I don't even know what I don't know. I just know that I'm on a journey into wanting to learn more about myself, because I actually want the bounty of the Ten of Pentacles, right? I don't know how much bounty this scenario is actually bringing forth, because the Page of Pentacles, the Knight of, where do I get the Page of Pentacles? Don't even know. Knight of Wands and Page of Cups certainly don't come with massive bounties. And the Emperor can parade around all day saying he's an emperor, but these two will not bring the bounty home. Look at this on the flip side. Who's going to bring the bounty home? The Fool, who knows he doesn't know what he doesn't know, but seeks wisdom, right? How different is this energy to that energy? And maybe divine masculine is coming to a bit of a crossroad, going, do I want to be an empty emperor, or do I want to be a bountiful fool? It's a big difference in the energy, isn't it? The Fool goes forth trusting the divine and knowing that wisdom awaits to bring them into the bounty of life. That if you listen to your intuition, if you listen to the guidance of the divine, you feel that sun at your back, and you trust that your feet are not going to walk you off that cliff, and trust that that path is going to walk you into wisdom, higher levels of spiritual understanding, and with that actually comes a physical bounty. What do you get in the physical bounty? You get a partner, you get wisdom, you get safety and structure, and you get abundance, you get loyalty. There's a bunch of rewards for walking out on a fool's journey, which, let's call it's a soul ascension journey. To walk out on a fool's journey, you're at the start of the major arcana. You've got 22 keys to work through and understand your process in life. Part the way there, you actually do come into the energy of wisdom. And what's the reward? All the bounty of life, the whole box and dice. So, who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? Do you want to be the emperor, who really heartless and doesn't stick around for the bounty, or do you want to step into the journey of the Fool, where it does feel like a crossroad energy, because they're so polarizing, those energies, the way I'm reading them? It's like one or the other. This is a free will decision. This is your choices. This is you looking in the mirror going, how do I actually want this life to pan out? Do I want to get around having, I don't even know why I'm really attacking. I normally love the Emperor. I normally love this energy. But when it comes in with these two, I'm just going, it's the kind of Emperor that you just go, you just think you're all that. You just think you're all that, but you don't actually get it, right? You think you're all that, but you don't stick around and you don't have massive understanding. Your offer is underwhelming, right? Versus this, I would take on the fool who's working his way through the key stations of the Hierophant into understanding what the bounty of life is over an emperor who thinks he knows it all and knows really nothing. Sorry, Divine Masculine, I do feel like I'm being, but it's how I'm reading it. How I'm reading it. So, what's the push from the universe? Look at this. Essentially, if we take this out of the Ten of Pentacles, who appears here on the Four of Wands, right? Similar energy, right? Take all the pentacles out of it, but you have the solid structures here of the archway and the buildings. You've got the solid structure of the castle playing out in the background. You've got the bounty of, you've got bounty of the pentacles here, but here you've got the bounty of the reef. So it's bounty, but represented differently. Here you've got family. Here you've got loyalty. Here you've got wisdom. Here you've got happiness. The push from the universe is they want you to have it all. How are you showing up right now? You're just working. It's just work, 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 work. I'm just working, 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 working. What am I actually achieving? Who knows? Because the push from the universe is they want you to be happy. But right now, all you're doing, you just head down, bum up. I'm just working, working, working. What is in the soul space right now? You are overthinking the crap out of life, right? To have this in your soul space right now, I can see why you've got big decisions to make about where you're headed. Like, because you're overthinking everything. This comes in as a mental prison in your soul space. So this push from the universe versus how you're showing up in the world, they're not in alignment with each other, and therefore it puts you into a mental prison. You can walk your way out of it at any time you like. Get on the path of the Hierophant. Be the fool. Follow your feet. You're not going to walk off the cliff. You're going to walk your way out of the swords. You're not going to get cut. I know you can't see where you're going. I know you can't feel your way right now. I know it's all so very confusing. But put your feet in the water and start listening to the voice of the divine. Lead you forward out of trouble. You're not going to get cut if you just follow your feet. Righto. That's not a cage. See it? It's not a bloody cage. It's wide open. And most of the swords are behind you. So why are you getting in such a bloody twist on stuff that isn't even real? Oh, gee, I'm on a rant tonight. Somebody stop me. Challenge to lay your burden down. You're sitting here, you got yourself in such a bloody twist, and you won't lay down the burden. You think that these swords are wrapped all around you and that nobody understands anything about anything, but you've got your feet, you got to follow divine out, and the divine's saying it's okay to lay down the burden. What is the advice from Spirit? Face the judgment. Just face it. Face it. Spirit is calling you out. It's calling us all out. All of humanity at some point and another is going to have to take this soul ascension journey. Not one soul will not be affected by this rising of energy and the frequency of the new earth that is promised as part of why twin flames are going through what they're going through. Twin flames go first, but all of humanity will eventually be called to take the journey that you're on, Divine Masculine. You're here to lead the way. And yes, at times it's going to feel like crap. It's going to feel like you cannot see and you cannot move and you do not know what to do next. That's why the divine puts the path out in front of you. Just put your bloody feet in the water and follow it. Lay down the burden and you'll be able to move into the energy of, guess what? The star. Because look who's pouring the water down for you to put your feet in. The divine. There's a divine energy pouring this water down for you to put your feet in. Up here we've got the energy of the cosmos, right? And I love when the energy of the star is beautiful. Yes, it is people in the spotlight. Yes, it is being led by the divine. Yes, it is this energy of the divine waters raining down on us. But the overriding message that I love of the star card is hope. Look how hopeless this energy is. To have that in your soul space, that feels hopeless. But the likely outcome, if you lay your burden down, Lay your burden down. Get called out. Get called out. Let judgment reign, right? Face the judgment. We're all going to go through these soul ascension journeys on our way to delivering the message of the divine. And here, the star is going, be hopeful, divine masculine. I have plans for you. I have plans. Will you trust me? Will you trust me? This is hope, and this is divine waters being played out for you. Let's get another tarot deck. Let's go. What is the energy from divine masculine over across to divine feminine? How is that energy playing out? The bridge, right? What's happening in the bridge? The energy that's moving between the two. Let's have a look. And we've got the bridge from divine masculine to divine feminine, because by and large, divine feminine is mostly who's watching, and you know what you're sending over there. So let's see what we can pick out, what's coming back. Let's have a look. Righto. True, we've got the Six of Pentacles. Oh, we've got the Queen of Cups, right? We've got the Queen of Swords. Oh, the challenge card is the Eight of Pentacles. The advice is the Nine of Swords. The likely outcome is the Four of Swords. Righto. So here, this is going, the push from the universe. We're looking at how the divine masculine sees the divine feminine with the push from the universe. So this is a very charitable energy, right? It's like this energy of wanting to give. So if we look at it and go, the push on the divine masculine to the divine feminine is to want to give. How are they seeing you show up in the world? As the Queen of Cups. So they're seeing you as somebody very lovely, essentially. The Queen of Cups is the most love that one person can feel for another. So essentially, divine masculine sees you as, the cup that you hold is not toxic. What you're offering is pure. You don't taint your offer with, you're not a game player. You don't set traps for divine masculine to fall into. Essentially, the love that you're offering is genuine. When you love someone, you love someone. And it's like, just because things go wrong, it doesn't mean that you've taken your love away. The love remains, even if the way that it's presented is different. It doesn't become toxic, and it doesn't go away. And so divine masculine, seeing that you still see how you're still standing there, they know that you still have a cup of love for them. They know it. They know, and they're charitable towards that idea. Here's the kicker. How does he see in maybe in the soul space, what you're sending down the wire is a little, like on the surface, it might feel like it's a, it might be a couple of on how he views you on the surface, but in the soul space, he knows you've been hurt. Our Queen of Swords definitely can swing a sword and go, I'm protecting my heart space. So essentially, if you can imagine, there you are. That's how you're viewed. But to get to that, they've got to get past the Queen of Swords, right? She's standing at the door of the divine feminine heart with a sword, saying, I'm going to protect this space from anything that wants to come forth and hurt it. So divine masculine knows that there's a bunch of hurt being caused before, so he doesn't know how to get away from these swords, let alone what to do with the sword divine feminine has at the door of her heart, protecting and guiding and guarding. In the challenge space is the work that's sacred. Now, this is interesting because the last little bit, and what I'm sort of conversations that I'm having, is divine feminine really has been head down, bum up, going, I'm just going to keep myself busy. I'm going to keep myself really focused. And, this might be for mine, it hasn't felt like it's been something that's been a deliberate. It's just that I've had lots of things that to get busy about, to keep myself active in, and so that, when it's not that you don't feel the energy, because I know Queen of Swords could suggest that your soul space would be a little cold, but essentially the work's been there to do. It's not that I've had to manufacture things to do. There's been stuff to do, and there's been stuff to learn, stuff to grow through. So um, the advice from Spirit is to let us know the Divine Feminine has had a degree. This energy of anxiety has definitely come up more than once, but the likely outcome is the process that she's going through, whether it's connected to lucid dreaming, whether it's connected to wisdom via the sleep space, or whether it's connected to sleepless nights working. However, this energy is manifesting for you, the likely outcome is, and it's interesting, isn't it? Because you've had this come through twice. So he sees you healing. So this is the divine masculine looking in on divine feminine, and the Four of Swords is the likely outcome. Here in your initial read, Divine Feminine, you had the Four of Swords as the advice from Spirit. So it definitely is a healing energy that's being played out. And if you are moving into those spaces where you're definitely enjoying the flow energy or the zone energy, your divine masculine is seeing you working that process. So that's actually quite a lovely reading, is that he sees the healing that's occurring. Righto, let's get some divine love oracle and see what we've got going on. So first we'll go for divine feminine, and then we'll get some for divine masculine, and then we will have one for the connection. What have we got? Divine feminine sad. Oh, divine masculine dark night, and the connection rest. That's interesting. Well, let's start with this one, sad. I'm gonna own up to this. I've been sad about the separation. I've been sad because I've lost two uncles. I've been sad for a bunch of reasons, and sad's one of those energy. It's a visitor, and it's allowed to visit. It's allowed to be part of our world, and we need to explore it when it's a visitor, but we don't want to become that energy. So I think I view death a little bit differently to most people, because I am connected to the afterlife so vividly. But part of my job is saying goodbye to my uncle is preparing his eulogy, and I'm going through photos, and I'm asking for stories, and I'm just revisiting so much of his life, and how much he meant to me. And I am sad that we won't have the physicality of each other anymore, but and I do allow myself to be sad at the fact that he's not here on the I can't just go visit him. But in the same breath, I know that the afterlife is alive and well, and we'll connect there. But it has been my energy for that reason, and I am sad that Ricky and I are out of alignment at the moment. And we've been through some really challenging energies, and even though we still share a house, it's challenging to be in the same house and be out of alignment with each other and try and work through those energies. And sometimes I will just sit in here, and I'll let myself cry at what's happened and what we're going through, and that we don't know how to figure anything out. And will we ever figure anything out? I don't know. And sometimes I get sad at those ideals, and I think it's okay to sometimes to allow those feelings to come forward if they need to. If you need to cry, cry. Amplify the crap out of it so that it doesn't become you. Have your moment where tears need to shed. But then once allow the moment to, and I'm not saying cut it off short. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying amplify it and experience it until it moves of its own accord. Energy wants to move. So if we have to be sad, we be sad. We be sad until the energy moves on of its own accord. Now, this is interesting, isn't it? We've got dark night here for the divine masculine. And, like to be a twin flame, if you haven't heard the term dark night of the soul, are you really on a twin flame journey? Seriously, like it is part and parcel. And, looking at this energy here, it is an energy that can trigger a dark night of the soul, really, isn't it? Because you can imagine, these eyes are blindfolded, they can't see, they can't feel their way. There's a feeling of being really, really lost and not knowing where to go. With your feet, you want to believe that they can find their way out of it by putting their feet in the water and listening to the divine. But wow, to have dark night of the soul come up is a really intense energy. Um, Yeah, it's look, and I've written these. I don't always read them, but lately I feel like I want to. Here I've written a dark night of the soul is in essence the collapse of your understanding of life as you know it, to rebirth a new, more nuanced and meaningful existence. It is in essence a death of constructs, belief systems, and a mode of operation that needs to be shed in order to be a more awakened life. Often it is triggered by a dramatic, even catastrophic event that in hindsight will be seen to be a savior for your soul. Throughout the death process, the soul will feel lost, abandoned, broken, or shattered, opening the doorway for spirit to transform existence as it once was known. As it was once known. Reborn, life feels more miraculous and consciousness is alive and purposed. So that was how, I created these cards just for reference. And I wanted to really give some of these twin flame terminologies that we talk about. I wanted to write them down, have understandings for them, because the dark night of the soul, I mean, this term gets thrown around a lot, doesn't it? Oh, my masculine's having a dark night of the soul, and we think, oh well, is your masculine just sad? Sad is not dark night of the soul. Dark night of the soul is really this ideal. Whoops, sorry, that you've lost faith in your process. You've lost faith in your purpose. It is really the bottom of the pool stuff where you cannot see the reasons, the purpose, the knowledge, your life. I don't want the existence as you know it feels to have collapsed, and there's nothing there to hang on to. And I think that's interesting that we've got this in the soul space, which would reinforce the ideal. So here, my hands are tied, my eyes cannot see. Now we've had divine here. See, this starts to make more sense, doesn't it? Bloody hell! Let's go back. See the emperor here, right? The emperor here was living an existence. And like I said, this is a degree of fake, right? The Knight of Wands is fake. The Page of Cups is minuscule in the grand scheme of things. Our emperor has had a fall. And I didn't read it as a dark night of the soul initially, but we could definitely make that argument for this sequence, because the emperor parading around as Knight of Cups and Page of Cups, that doesn't, it's not an emperor's existence. Or at least if it is, it's a dodgy emperor, right? Now here, if the emperor falls over, right? Let's say the emperor, the dodgy emperor, in his current existence, with the Knight of Wands and the Page of Cups, falls over, is in the dark night of the soul. I do not exist as an emperor anymore. Being an emperor doesn't make sense to me. The life of an emperor is like, I don't want it anymore. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. It's fallen over. How is he rebirthed? Look at this. I'm rebirthed as the Fool. Life as I now know it looks very different, and I'm at the baseline of a new understanding, which is often lit with more sunshine. How did I say it? Rebirth feels more miraculous, and consciousness is alive and purpose. Look at this. This is what we were saying. I didn't understand the sequence when I first read it. But look at this. If the emperor, the life of the emperor has collapsed, and that's how we're reading it. There was one life versus another. So if this life has actually collapsed, let's put the dark night on the emperor, and he's reborn as the Fool, who actually opens their heart up to life being miraculous and ready for an adventure. Look at this. Loyalty returns. Loyalty returns. That's a belief. It's a faith. And even here we have the Star card come out as a likely outcome too. Here, the Judgment card. That's what happens in the dark night of the soul. It all collapses, right? Imagine being asleep. You're asleep. You are deep, 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 deep asleep. And the divine comes in and blows his trumpet in your ear, right? And you wake up initially, remember I was saying the last couple of weeks the energy was cranky? Maybe the energy is groggy. I've been woken up and I don't like it. And I don't know how to go back to what I knew successfully. Do I want to go back to what I knew? Probably, but I just can't. I'm now waking up as the fool, pushing my way into enlightenment and bringing the blessings down of that enlightenment. But as of yet, I don't understand it. I feel like the energy is still, oh, look, groggy. The energy is groggy. I just want to rest. Sorry. It just made me, not that I want to laugh about this. It's not a funny scenario, but can you imagine waking up from a dark night of the soul and you suddenly got the lights on, you're a little bit aware of what's happening in and around you. You feel groggy. What do you want to do? You want to rest. Divine Feminine, what are you feeling right now? You're feeling like you want to bring purpose, bring meaning, be in flow state. That's another version of rest, right? Having time for meditation, having time for balancing, having time to, to move with this King of Swords energy. If you're moving at this pace, you need this pace to balance you out. I understand why the connection needs rest. If this is what's happened to Divine Masculine, or what I'm going to do is just say, from the Divine Feminine Collective, we send you so much love down the wire for you to come out of your dark night of the soul and to understand why a fool gets reborn, why the divine puts you into that state and why they wake you up. And we understand what it feels like to be groggy when you've woken up and the divine has given you this level of a shake up. And we want you to know that we'll be here to support the process. So Divine Masculine, if you're watching and you need a comforting ear, you need some support, you're feeling like you've just had your cage fully rattled and you're still figuring out the whys, the wherefores, and you're finding us here at this channel and our beautiful little community. We're small, but we're lovely. We've got such a gorgeous group, and the chats that I have with people are just, they light my heart up. And even when I was going through, the kicker was when things got tough for me and Ricky, to have all of you to lean on, and the support and the love and the encouragement was incredible. So Divine Masculine, if you're now needing that support, I'm sure our community would wrap their arms around you. So this is a big one, isn't it? I don't think we've seen Dark Night of the Soul come out in any of our readings. So if this is a level of awakening that we know we've been through Divine Feminine, and it's a kick in the guts. So let's all rest on this one, hey? And remember I said before, it's not a go forward or go back energy. It's a just it is energy. That's why this card is coming out, because we've got to take a moment, deep breath across the collective, and help our Divine Masculine wake up into the truth of who they are and what it's all about. I'm going to wrap our reading up for here. This has been a cracker of a reading and lots of big energies. And here's to the next little chapter and the interesting nuances it brings. So enjoy our move into Sagittarius energy. In faith, hope, and love, I'm going to say it's bye from me for now.